Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese, episode 197. I'm your Joe Dix, joined tonight by Mark Augustiniak
Hey.
and Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese, a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Matt, what happened?
Oh, they lost. The Caps, they lost. Oh, well. I'm over it already.
Already?
Yeah,
That quickly?
It's actually you now. Your doppelganger's gone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Dash isn't here anymore.
Yeah. Dang. You all right? You're doing okay?
I'm fine. You know why? You know what made it better? The fact I didn't have to watch the game. Because
Were you were at a baseball game instead?
not a baseball game.
Oh.
Something actually a little bit better.
Are you sure? What could be better than a baseball game?
Seeing Metallica live.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, very, very good.
How fucking dope was that?
It was awesome. I was most excited to see Master Puppets.
And they closed with that, right?
They did not close with that. However, 5 minutes after I found out the Caps lost, they played Master Puppets, and my
Perfect.
spirits were like lifted again.
Perfect. The question of the hour. Did they play Saint Anger?
No.
Ah, damn. Did you get a
It's-
refund? I would have demanded my money back.
It's so weird because they played for 2 hours, but I feel like I only saw 10 songs because their songs are so goddamn long.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it was good. They played for 2 hours before, like, you know, that typical go off the stage, come back on for the encore.
I
Right,
don't
right.
know many metal songs that are short.
Yeah, it's more of a punk thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like fast forward.
Right.
The I feel like, you know, the Ramones were still playing. I'd be like, man, I saw 120 songs in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They all sounded the same, but, you know, I could differentiate them.
They all start with Hey and Ho. Something about a Blitzkrieg. They played Nothing Else Matters?
Yes.
Good.
Sad but True. They ended like the entire show like at encore as well, like with Enter Sandman.
That was the final.
That was like it. It was cool that like they were pretty good with like, you know, hanging around after the fact. They were throwing tons of picks. Lars was throwing his drumsticks out. He even went to the back and got more and kept throwing stuff out. Like it was good.
Did you get to kiss Lars?
No, it was super far away from Lars, but you know.
I didn't know if after this show you get to go and
No.
give him a little
No.
kiss.
Did not, but it was a good show. I'm very glad I went.
Now I'm very jealous. Very jealous. Mark,
Yeah.
how's your week?
Week, pretty. I don't know. It was just relaxing.
Pretty weekly. Yeah.
Pretty weak. No, I didn't do much, but like finally watched 13 Reasons Why.
What'd you think of that?
Well, I have 12 minutes left of
Oh.
the final episode.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It seemed like something that would have been great if we were still high school teenage girls.
It definitely has it's well produced, but it has like a really like after school special feel to it.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of it over Katie's shoulder. And she was like way into it the whole time, and then by the end of it, she was just like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, some characters are fine, some aren't, but the transitions were creative. That's the only thing I got from it,
Yeah.
mostly. But yeah, you know, just chill.
How's your day?
Oh, my day. Well, I went to go check mail, and I hit my head for some reason on like the door frame.
Did someone say you've got mail and you got the mail, or
Yeah, you know, like after like the 10 minutes of like connecting to AOL, it was just like the you got mail. I was like, oh, I got mail, and then no, I didn't. I just got a knot above my head, my
you-
eyebrow.
Bashed it pretty good
It's,
there.
yeah, it's pretty not pretty noticeable, but you can see it, especially if you're looking for it.
I need to put like an ice pack on it or something.
I'm just gonna look at it the whole episode.
Just
it's
what-
cool because now it's
No,
starting,
take your pen,
Canonical
put
one?
like a little smiley face.
Well, the more you look
on
at it, the more you start to see like there's a face inside of it. You know, like there's an eye.
draw it.
No, it'll hurt. The pressure.
I don't care.
The pressure.
I'm a
will hurt.
masochist. No.
I guess.
How
I
was
suppose.
your day, week, year, month?
Oh, day, filled with cleaning. Week filled with nothing. Yeah, no, fine.
Oh, all right. Pretty chill.
Totally average. Preparing for a little vacation this week.
Nice.
Yes.
That's gonna be relaxing.
Yeah, I'll be gone till November, as they say.
Well, I most certainly hope now we're gonna miss the E3.
Yeah, no, I'll be back. I'm gone for 5 days.
I would have never thought you'd say that.
What?
That joke.
Gone till November?
Yeah.
I have to. It's part of part of our updated terms of service as a as a company.
What's gonna happen when November finally comes, though?
Maybe the
Did we
joke will
just-
die.
That's when Mother 3 gets released.
Did we just wait until November's over to just randomly start bringing it back up again?
It'll be something about Gone Till Now, or I don't know. Maybe we'll have some dedicated listener who writes in with all the things that were supposed to be gone until November, and we can kind of check in on those things.
I'm already on top of
Maybe
that.
the
don't
joke
worry.
will
Oh,
actually.
you got it. Okay, good.
Maybe the joke will actually be gone by November.
Certain things tend to last longer than you want them to, you know?
Yeah.
No, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I fear other things that might last a little longer than I want them to later on when we hear what Matt's been playing this week. Speaking of which, I published a thing this week that you should go read if you haven't read. Published a couple things this week, actually. But I missed the Tuesday deadline that I said last week. I wasn't feeling it, and I didn't want to put out my not best work.
Don't blame you.
So I don't think I'm going to have anything done before I go on vacation. But I should be able to squeeze something out by the end of the month. I just didn't feel good about it, what I had come up with. So I wanted to marinate on it.
I don't think anybody will come with you at pitchforks or.
Yeah, but I hate myself for it. That's the big thing. But I did publish a little editorial about discovery in games and how Breath of the Wild kind of influenced that, and kind of how it's reinvigorated my sense of wonder in video games.
Yeah, do you ever like get that with like maybe games you haven't looked at before, or you have played before, but then you have like a new like sense, like a new perspective on it, and then you appreciate the game entirely differently now?
Well, that was totally like in that piece I wrote about approaching Luigi's Mansion now for like the third time, and
Right.
now I'm finally getting it. Like the first time I was like, okay, it's like Luigi's Mansion. And the second time I was just like, oh, this is that game I bought and never finished. I'm going to try it again. I'm bored. It switches out. Who cares? Now I'm like actually just losing myself in these little worlds. And it's like, oh my God, the puzzle design is really clever. There's all sorts of hidden secrets inside the mansions that you otherwise wouldn't know about unless you actively look for it and let yourself get lost. And yeah.
But I'm also wondering if it's like the opposite. Where like you really appreciate a game for what it is and everything that you do, like whatever about it, but then now with the new mindset or perspective, it now kind of like ruins a game for you.
I guess I could see that happening.
Like maybe there's some details that you wish you didn't notice, or something, or something that's like, oh, that could have been different.
Yeah, I think I've had that.
It's interesting.
I can't think of what. I've had that with cartoons from my childhood. Kind of going back to those things and being "Ugh, it's not as good as I remember it being.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies where I was just like, ooh.
Yeah. Secret of the Ooze.
It's not the third one.
Even worse.
It's not the Christmas special.
No. Well, later on in the episode, show and tell, I feel like we got some cool things to talk about. Maybe cool, maybe not cool. I don't know. But we always start every podcast with a little segment called Now Playing, where we talk about what we've been playing. And before Matt ruins it with talk of weed farms and
just
whatever
rip the
else.
Band-Aid. Just rip the Band-Aid. Just get it out of the way. Just.
I'm going to dive in with a mobile game of my own that I started playing this week.
Are you in?
I'm not in. Did not buy.
You're not dank enough. That's why.
Did not buy Wiz Khalifa's weed farm.
Well, you're not buying anything. It's free.
My time is worth a lot of money. I don't know if you know this or not. Picked up Injustice 2 for the cellular telephones.
Not surprised.
Right.
Oh, that new platform we discovered last week, right?
Cellular telephone?
Oh yeah, the apps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like the first one?
So this is better than the first.
Right.
It's still...
You like unlock costumes and that can transfer to...
No. Not that I've discovered yet. I don't think... I can't see that it has any tie-in to the real game.
Interesting.
The full game. To my knowledge. But... so the combat's better. Already. It's still kind of tap to punch, swipe to do a hard punch. And then you have like your designated buttons for special attacks or combos. That's fine. It's not, bad by any means. But it just feels a little bit better. Like I feel like I can string combos together where the other one I was just kind of mashing the screen and just like waiting for it to be over.
Right.
But this one you can kind of like swipe, tap, 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 swipe. And you know that's a combo, and right after block, and then swipe, tap, 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 swipe. Like I've got like a good rhythm down with certain characters, and you kind of get it going, and then you feel okay.
Is there a move list where it's like tap swipe? Like
I don't think so.
okay.
Or maybe there is somewhere, and maybe it's like, you know, the metagame that I'm unaware of. But yeah, it's better. I will say it's definitely better. I think you have more opportunity to do more in this game. The first one, every character was plagued by these, whatever it was. Like it was a finite number of turns you had before you had to wait for them to recharge. Or, of course, you could spend money and buy the things to make them recharge faster. This has that, but only in certain modes. So you do have a currency that like kind of burns itself out as you play through, but that currency is different depending on the mode. So there's some different modes. I'm gonna fire it up just so I can.
Do you have to
kind of visual aid?
Do you sign in with a WB account?
No, not that I've been able to find, which is weird.
Yeah, I figured that'd be the giveaway of like there's sign of connectivity.
Yeah, that because I remember the last one was a big thing. You had to sign in in order to get that Batman Beyond costume, which I did, but yeah, I don't know.
How'd that work out for you?
Fucking great. I had a Batman Beyond. I was running around as Terry McGinnis. That's all the kids want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I'll show you. I mean, listeners can't see. Listeners just download it. Try it out. It's free. Who cares?
Yeah, and so that was I'm playing. I'm just saying. Time's very valuable.
Yeah. So there's campaign. Now the campaign mode, this is the part where it costs you lightning, whatever the fuck lightning is. But that's like your energy. And you dive in, you do a battle, which is your team of 3 versus another team of 3. And you do that until you get all the way to the end, and you fight a boss. The boss is one of the characters. So far, I've had Scarecrow, Wonder Woman, and Harley. Now I'm on Batman. You kind of work your way through them. And they're not any different. They just have a stronger, more powerful team. The first one, like, you would collect characters as cards, and that was kind of weird. And I mean, they still do a similar thing here, but it's not as. So there's campaign. Then they have operations, which operations is this thing where like you basically you choose an area. So we've got Arkham Asylum, and I've got Swamp Thing ready to go. So I'm gonna drag Swamp Thing. Hit continue, and then he goes out to scout Arkham Asylum. He'll gain experience, and he'll bring me back gold or whatever the fuck.
He's in the consoles too, right?
Yeah, so all the characters that are in there are in here as well, which is cool.
Is the whole roster been released?
I think so.
Is Constantine a part of it?
No, not that I've seen. I don't know if the whole roster's out there.
Or it's like DLC and all that.
I mean, I feel like the whole roster must be out there because they announced the first DLC pack.
Right. It was
the first DLC, yeah, the first DLC is Sub-Zero.
Oh boy, here comes Scorpion again.
it was Sub-Zero.
Deathstroke?
No,
no.
Red Hood.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then
Close enough.
why can't I remember her name?
Oh,
The Teen Titan.
Starfire.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Operations, it's just like set it and forget it. There's like 30-minute missions, hour-long missions, and it'll, pop up. The only thing I do wish, and I find myself, it's funny that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but they don't give you a push notification when your operations are complete. So,
that's the one time I want one.
Right. It's the only time that I want them to tell me, hey, your thing's done, come back to the game. And they're not doing that. So I find that like 6 hours go by, and then I'm like, oh, I could have done 6 of these and racked up some gold. So I don't know. I feel like that'd be a good pull to get me back into the game.
Speaking of, we'll get into that in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there soon enough.
Secrets.
So then you have Arena, which is your online. Now, this is where it costs you those like very limited resources. Because the rest of the resources, like the lightning you cash in for the
Flash
campaign
points?
mode.
Oh.
Right. You can see I have 133 out of 64 right now. So you earn that like really generously. There's all of these daily achievements and challenges and things that as you complete them, you're
Are your
rewarded with
operations bringing
whatever.
that in as well?
I believe so. Probably. So basically, like the campaigns where you go to level up everything. That's like your big grind area. Operations are out to get resources. or not even resources, but operations are kind of just, they're leveling up your characters in the background while you don't have to do anything. Arena, you go online and you battle. That's where you get your power gems and your credits, which we'll come back to. And then they have this resource mission. So you can get these XP buffs, and every day of the week has a different type of XP.
Seems like a lot packed in this.
It's a really like well thought out package, I think. Yeah, so like Monday is the Might class XP missions. So each character is broken up into a different type of class. So you have Might, Agility, Tech, Meta, and Arcane.
Okay.
So Monday through Friday.
What is Meta?
Let me see. Meta is like, I think Swamp Thing falls into that class. I don't know. A couple other ones. But Monday through Friday is each one of those. Saturday is a random one, and then Sunday is a credits mission. So you play through that mission, you just get credits. Then they have story mode too, which I haven't done yet because the story mode, right? This is the actual story. It's not like a I figured they would do like some prequel chapters. Like, nope, it is straight up the first chapter of the game before the game comes out.
That's weird to put something like that out before the actual game story. I don't know.
I guess it's to, get you stoked. So you can see here there are, in the store, there's special offers, which you can buy some Harley Quinn Suicide Squad pack. And you can buy a bunch of gems. Now these gems you can use to buy hero chests. So that's how you unlock your characters, is the pink gems.
Okay.
You get a basic chest.
Getting Fire Emblem vibes.
It's not as bad as Fire Emblem.
I still see ads for that on YouTube. I'm just like, no.
I think it's cool.
I mean, it's good that they're doing that, but it's like, I've had my fix.
What's pushing that ad? Those ads, probably all the money they're making off of it.
Yeah.
Or at least a small portion.
They got my money from it.
And then the weird thing is, so you collect shards. So if we look at roster, you can see the ones I've got. And, like, there's all these other cool ones. Like, yeah, I totally want Predator Batman and Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. But I can't buy them, even though I have enough money to buy them. I don't have the shards. So the big thing in this game is collecting shards to then fill in the character. You get so many shards, then you can get that character. The higher number, or, like, the more, like, powerful and whatever the character, the higher number of shards you have to collect. It's a lot, and I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to kind of stop. But I feel like this, for what it is not a bad one of them, if that makes sense.
Is the combat smooth?
Yeah, I think the combat's really smooth. So I'm playing on a 6, so I did notice, like, a couple of the times that, like, there was one time I booted it, no sound. And I was like, okay, that's weird. There was another time, the very first time I went into an online match, and remember, like, those things charge once every, like, 7 hours or something stupid. So, I might be exaggerating, but it's a really long time for those little blue things to recharge for the online stuff. I started my first battle. The second it tried to boot up and connect me, the app crashed. And when I launched it again, it had expelled that. Oh, look, it just crashed when I was trying to get into an online thing again.
There it goes.
But when I booted it back up, it had expelled that token. So that was just one burn that I couldn't get back. So those are per character. So I guess what you could do is, kind of amount enough characters that you'd have a good thick roster, and you could burn through online stuff quite regularly and then let the other ones recharge while you're going through.
The other ones, yep.
I think that's the end goal.
Sounds complex.
But yeah, I mean, it's a battery murderer. Like, murder.
Like Pokemon Go.
Maybe even worse.
I mean, you're pushing a lot of systems and probably a lot of background noise and,
So here's what I did yesterday. I woke up at 10 of 6, and as soon as I woke up, I was like, all right, I'm going to make coffee, get my cereal, put something on. Vacation has begun. I plopped down. I opened this thing up. Again, 6 o'clock in the morning. I open it up for the first time. and it's got a power saving mode in the options. So I turn that on immediately. I put my phone on vibrate, so no sound's coming out. And by like 9, 10%.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, all right. So how much of that is you're putting a toll on your 6, and it's working harder than it probably has ever have?
I mean, maybe, but that's...
And then part of it is how long have you had said phone? I mean, the 6. I mean, that's...
No, my battery's pretty good. I got it checked out. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I think you're asking your 6 to do a lot.
I guess, but I don't know. That seemed like 3 hours and 90% gone.
I mean, yeah, that's bad. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend that, but no,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
I
think
it
what you're
seems
using is not helping.
It seems like most electronics only have like a 3 to 5 hour lifespan if you're using it constantly.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, guess what new console this came out as a 3 to 5 hour lifespan.
I know.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, to be fair, like I was just like, this was open the whole time, and I was just kind of like...
Yeah, like that's
Brightness
how I-
level?
Huh?
Brightness level?
Yeah, to the max, obviously.
I
I'm
evolve.
aware,
I
Matt,
usually keep mine
I
pretty low.
know, but, you know,
I'm asking the questions
Yeah.
more for myself.
yeah. But I'm curious
Than the
with
listener,
you
but for the
on a
listener.
7 how it would hold up. One, I think
Man.
the sound would be better, because that was one thing that did piss me off, is the way you naturally hold your phone to play.
I would have the stereo stuff
Right,
going on.
I'm
yeah.
totally blocking the speaker, so I would like shift how I'm holding it, but you still kind of muffle it.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, I don't hate this.
That's good.
I guess that's a
mostly.
good way to rate a mobile game. I don't hate this.
Yeah,
And I think we're at that point where that's like a good.
It's either trash or I don't hate this.
I'll tell you what. I made room for it on my front page of apps. It squeezed its way in there. So
Could you tell us what you had to take off to make the front room?
I deleted PlayStation messages because
That's fine.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know.
That's fair.
See, I do that a lot, and then I get like a random like invite or something, and then the button won't go away on my PlayStation app, so I have to get Messenger to get rid of that notification.
I mean, then I can always re-download it if I need
Like,
it. But
why is-
I looked, and the last time I sent a message was like to you.
Oh, you just straight up delete it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's just like everything has to like have a Messenger app like separate. It's like why?
Space, volume, etc. Like the amount of whatever data that would take up.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I get it from their end of things, but I also don't care. Yeah, it's a fine game.
It's
Totally
a mobile
fine.
beat 'em up.
If
When I
if
beat
it
'em up
weren't as
fighting game.
bad on my battery, I would be really excited about it. The fact that it kind of like, ugh, you know. But hey, bedtime, oof, like that's replaced me playing Mario Picross at bed.
Mario Picross.
Yeah, old Game Boy game.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was about to say like I don't remember that coming out recently. What is this?
Yeah, no. That's
What
been
is this
my.
3DS thing you got exclusively?
You guys have played Picross, right? Yeah, you played the Twilight Princess
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Picross is my jam. That one's.
I don't think I ever played it.
Oh my god.
It's. I feel like I cheat at that game. Like I'm not playing it the way you should.
You're trying to figure. You're filling in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
You're not playing. it
no math. It's all art for me.
Yeah. You would like it.
Her math. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
What's the frog game?
frog
Does it-
fractions.
Yeah, does it turn into that shit?
Oh no.
Boy, do I wish every game should be frog fractions.
No, Picross is like imagine Sudoku but with a picture in the middle instead of.
Numbers.
Okay.
But it's not even that. I'll show you later.
It has a similar sense because
yeah.
you do the X and Y axis.
Okay.
You'll see. But yeah, the Injustice 2 totally. It's been my like.
Now, are you gonna keep playing that once the?
I mean, time will tell. So
Yeah.
that
I
game.
feel like
there
I
any-
feel like it'll slowly wither off.
Is there any tie-in to like your PlayStation account?
That's
or
what
if
I
you
was
have-
gonna-
that's what he was asking. Because the
yeah.
first game, you had to sign into your WBID account,
okay.
which at launch on the mobile app was garbage. You couldn't sign in. It would kick you out every time, and you wouldn't get anything.
Sorry, man. I forgive you for not listening. It's all that weed.
You
can forget
he
things
has
here and
brain
there.
in weird
No, you
places.
did ask that. Yeah, because then he started talking about
I'm just
Batman
messing with
Beyond. I was like, how did that work out for
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
And he said, a great, of course. I would
Obviously,
play. Is
yeah.
Batman.
But I don't know. I don't know what it'll do.
Maybe it might update though.
Yeah, they really like they've supported
Yeah, I
the
feel
first Injustice game up until this one came
Well,
out.
I'm saying like they might update it Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm guessing.
Yeah. So
I can see
I also like the first game. I honestly was under the impression that the first game was just going to keep going, and they would implement all of the new roster into it. I did not know they were doing another mobile game until the other day. I was like, I'm going to re-download Injustice, see what's going on there, and then it was just like, oh, it's out. The new one's out. Okay, let's do it.
Gives
Yeah.
me reminds me of King of Fighters a little bit. Having like a 3-person team.
Yeah. It's that or a little bit like Marvel 3.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a little dip into the mobile world. Any other mobile?
I already talked about the mobile Phenom last week.
Oh,
I really don't
okay.
have much more to say about it because nothing's changed.
What's your? Did you level up anymore?
I did level up, so I have found myself not opening up the app as much this week. However,
I'm at least curious at your titles.
I am now a level 18 rookie grower.
What were you at last week? Do you remember?
Oh, it was like herb something.
Herbalist, I think.
Yeah, there was like alliteration in it.
Yeah. All of them are like very punny like that too.
Makes sense.
Update on the strain count. I now have discovered 14 of the 28 possible types of weed in this game. So
I think you were at 10
I
last
think I
week.
was at 10 last
Oh my
week.
god. What if they just keep updating it? It's like Pokemon. There's like 720
Yeah.
different strains.
When it turns into Wiz Khalifa's Go,
Huh?
like Pokemon Go style, but was
You can find real
Yeah.
real farms
Different-
in your area.
There's different teams. One
Yeah,
of them's like the
like-
Narcs.
That makes. Now you're onto something. You could build that out. That could be a big.
Yeah.
Everybody walking around, you don't know if he's on your side or if he's a fucking cop.
oh my god, could you
know?
imagine the first actual trademark is this Wiz Khalifa weed game?
No.
Trademark.
Trademark.
See, I
That's the name of the game. It's
I don't have
trademark.
much more input there.
Yeah.
I still am playing it. I still am swiping all the coins, gathering all the coins. I'm very good at getting the coins.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, there's a drone. I gotta tap that. So as I discovered, mechanic, if you see the drones riding by, tap on it. It gives you money.
A hot tip.
Yeah.
Hot tip from the Free Cheese Podcast.
You know how I discovered that?
Yeah.
Because the game updated, and I actually read the patch notes. And they said they fixed the drone tapping. I was
Good.
like, oh, shit. Yes. Good. Thank you for doing that.
Good.
Dang.
Yeah, I've read the patch notes. That's how it.
See, I like it when some apps update, they tell you what the patch notes are.
Oh,
And
the
so-
other
so-
ones are just like,
other ones just like, oh, every
the weekly
week.
update.
Yeah, every week we just like to fix these bugs and you have a good day.
And we bloat our app even more to take up more space on your phone. Assholes.
No, you don't have to have the Facebook app on your phone. You can delete it.
Just go through the browser.
I really should start doing that. I don't use Facebook though, and that's the thing. Like it just stays on there. I get the one notification on.
Delete the account. that simple.
No, I need the account just to like a lot of my sign-ins.
Name two.
I think ESPN might be tied to that, and that's like my fantasy football account.
Name one more.
Probably my NFL fantasy NFL.com fantasy football
So
stuff.
sounds like two accounts you can make brand new accounts for.
A lot of history there.
I didn't hear
A
the
lot of
word
championships.
bank. I didn't hear the word
Bank. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use Facebook to sign into a
Again,
bank.
like nothing important
Dude, you can
is
send
using
money through the
Facebook.
messenger thing.
I hate everything.
There's the
Again,
Cash
though,
app for that.
You're not using anything important with Facebook, so just fucking burn it. I did it. Look at me. Huh?
Be sure to follow us on our Facebook page, by the way.
Yeah, you should totally do that. If Facebook's a thing that you still enjoy. We're there with little updates. Matt, what else did you do on your phone this week besides Wiz Khalifa if you haven't really been up to the weediness of Mr. Weed?
So, there's really nothing else I'm like actively playing on the phone, of course. But a game I finally am like dived into. I'm into it, and I'm playing it. Finally playing Mass Effect Andromeda.
You said you would.
Finally, am doing it. I'm enjoying it.
That's a very positive neutral statement.
I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that I've probably put in close to 75 hours in the entire trilogy of Mass Effect. So there's a big bond between me and Shepard and Garrus and Tally, like all these
all
characters,
that's gone.
all those characters. Now I gotta rebuild these relationships with these new characters that don't look great at times. With some of the animations.
So wait. Even post patch?
There's still some stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't look nearly as bad as it once did, but
Yeah.
there are some faces. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about you.
That's
I'm like
unfortunate.
hostile towards someone because I don't like looking at them.
I feel like that's
Weird.
just a lot of most Western games for me. Just don't do it justice.
Or,
but then again, I mean,
EA.
there's some Eastern ones because I will admit, people in Dark Souls look fugly. Even when the character creator, it's
I
just.
think that's just a Havoc engine, isn't it? A Havoc?
But like between like Fallout and like Skyrim. Well, no, not Skyrim. Sorry, I have to be more specific with my Elder Scrolls here. Oblivion
Oh,
is probably still to me like one of the worst character creators. Like everybody, no matter what, but unless you're like a Khajiit, everybody else is just Campbell Soup kids.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, Mass Effect, it's fine for right now, and there's still some room for me to invest and get into a little bit more. I will say this though, the first couple, or I don't want not even say couple, few hours I put into this game now, I'm probably at like around hour 6 or 7. The story is still very Mass Effect like, and when I say that, like the story is very like politically driven, but like whole galaxies and all these other alien races are involved.
everything depends on you.
I'm not there. Oh, you're kind of there, but once you start, once the story progresses, I think it's going to become more this like, oh well, I did this, so I should be in power of this, but this other person's trying to take power from you. I've always liked those political aspects, especially that's what Mass Effect 3 did so well, was trying to band everyone together for this fight against the Reapers, and there's still all this bullshit between like history with these other alien races that you have to deal with and trying to negotiate through to try to get everyone to band together. There's not that same level of epicness that 2 and 3 had just yet, but I'm only in hour 7. This is probably somewhere between 25 to 50 hours, depending on what I want to do with it.
Sure.
Now, the one thing I've heard about the game that's been a little painstaking is the puzzles.
So we were talking about Sudoku. The first puzzle was like Sudoku, and I was kind of into it. It was Sudoku with real weird symbols.
Yeah, that's what
But they
all of
weren't-
them are.
It wasn't that big of a grid, so
Like,
it wasn't terrible.
It gets harder later,
That's I had a feeling that
and
might
you can
happen.
spend gems to like get rid of them.
I saw that spend gem option.
And apparently, there's a lot of people who had to use it because it got ridiculous.
Are gems real money?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't found anything that's in-game
No,
currency.
yeah,
yet.
I
I don't
think it's
think I
all
have
in-game.
any of these gems yet, but
Right.
or maybe I do and I just don't
I
realize
like
it.
hate that shit in games where like you're doing it and you're like, who thought this was fun?
yeah, it's like, why do you have this option to skip it? Like, obviously, this is frustrating to a point. Why would you throw this in here?
Yeah.
To that
Like,
though,
does that add anything to the game?
Because like,
what the
That's my big
developer
thing.
what probably not, but from a developer standpoint, you might be, because when you're doing these puzzles, at least from the times I've done them, you're working on this ancient alien technology where you should have no idea what the language is.
Okay.
So if you're trying to decipher this language, like it should be kind of fucking hard.
and I kind of feel like I should go
That's
on.
not me defending the game.
Right.
That's
I mean,
me seeing where
if
this
there's
could be coming
if
from.
there's a reason for it, sure, but like, why couldn't it have been something? It's a correct me if I'm wrong. This is a science fiction game.
True.
Could you not just get something that would fucking decode it,
or
or
just over time you just
or
learn the
maybe you
language.
introduce another character who's like, oh, is that Claire Learner? Yeah, I speak that.
Or your AI character Sam learns it over time and makes it easier. But
Something.
yeah.
Because I watched my friend play a part where he had to activate all these different little like computers that were in the ground and like lift them up and then like do
Yeah.
this thing, and it was pretty big
Do
grid.
you have to discover like the glyphs and stuff in
Yeah.
the area? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching him do that, and I was like, Joe, not you, my other friend Joe. I was like, I'm just watching you, and I'm getting aggravated.
Yeah.
Like this is, I can't.
Yeah.
he spent like a good, I want to say hour or more on
I
that,
can see that being a thing
and
that
it
you
reminded
keep
me
doing.
of BioShock
Mm.
with the pipes, the hacking or
I
whatever.
didn't hate the pipes. It
But,
got
like-
real hard at the end, but I didn't hate
it just,
the pipes.
It just reminds me of that type of like, I'm just gonna call it a gimmick. in those games where they just throw this in here to like just to get this one thing going.
Yeah.
It's like for the sake of killing time. I feel like.
Yeah.
Some of them do it well though. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
think
some
of
of them do it well.
But
But that's just what I thought.
there's been a
immediately.
few that I always liked.
It's like a little game within a game.
I always liked the Fallout lockpick thing where you had to like precisely.
And you could feel
put
it. In
it-
the
yeah.
vibe order.
Lockpicking is fine because like Splinter Cell did that too.
Yes,
And
Splinter
Splinter
Cell did
Cell,
it well.
I sucked at it, but I appreciated it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know, just having like a little, just another grid pop up, and just I don't know,
Yeah.
just to me that's like a mobile game.
Yeah. But yeah, besides like the puzzles and stuff like that, the story, that's what's kind of keeping me coming back right now at this point, is to kind of see where that goes. The gameplay right now, it doesn't feel as polished as it did in 3 or 2. Now, granted, if we're kind of redoing this trilogy thing, which at this point, who knows anymore, but the first one, it reminds me a lot of the first one, where it's like this weird level of like stiffness and lack of a better word, like jankiness.
Well, because
to the combat that doesn't feel great, but it works.
I think there's a good reason behind that too. I think that like this is the B team making this game. It's not the same people from the A team.
I know I've wrote about the B team right on the site. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
the flip
exactly,
side or
'cause-
before, but
I
I've
remember us
made
talking
that
about
well
that.
known. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just hoping that my character is underdeveloped and I don't have like a lot of strength to mow down like enemies and stuff like that. But
Is it confirmed that depending which character you pick, it's a different story, the male or female?
I think it diverts a little bit. Now, I'm like 6 or 7 hours in, and I have not even talked to my sister yet because she's still frozen in cryo right now.
Oh,
That's how you get your title of Pathfinder, and as Pathfinder, you're in charge of trying to navigate this new galaxy to ensure that these planets are livable for all these different alien creatures, including like the human race itself. But all the other Pathfinders are gone missing. You're the only one that successfully got to the main base, and from there the story picks up. But in the first mission, your father dies. He was the original Pathfinder. Because your sister was still in cryo, you're the only person that can kind of take the Pathfinder like title. So that's how like you become the main character in this Mass Effect game.
it's kind of ironic that the other ones are gone. They're finders, but they're lost.
Yeah, well, if you got to if you saw that first mission and the shit that happened there, I almost didn't make it out of there alive. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah, the father sacrificed himself for me.
I'm curious to see how this ends.
Me too.
I want a Green Lantern game.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was kind of getting those thoughts.
It's kind of all I want. Like a big fucking Green Lantern game.
That doesn't suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no Ryan Reynolds.
How
Nah, bring him back.
what would your if you like made shapes, what kind of theme would you have with your stuff?
Like me as an individual, or what would I want in the game?
Both.
Oh, man. I don't know. Mine would be dumb. Mine would be really dumb. Like what?
Everything phallic. Just
No, not even that dumb. Like I would literally make like a fucking couch and just sit on it. Like that's the kind of
I
stupid
mean, that's
shit
not
I
that dumb if you think about it.
Or like make a car and then go drive in it. Like I wouldn't even fly. I
Dude.
probably would fly all the time, but
Yeah, it would be some like Static Shock stuff, like a little plate underneath. And
Yeah,
just...
but I don't think I would do that. But that's what always pisses me off. Is like every time you see Hal Jordan, it's like, well, let's get a big old jet.
No, Kyle Rayner. I liked his
Kyle had some good ones.
because he was a comic book artist or whatever.
Yeah, Kyle had some good ones.
John Stewart's was boring.
Yeah, John was a lot like Hal. It was just like a lot of
because
like,
he's an architect.
yeah.
So it's like
But he was always good at building like weird boxes that could trap people inside.
that's true.
Yeah, that's cool. You learned all about.
Oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about Green Lantern. I feel like at this point.
Yeah.
Probably not. Two other things about Mass Effect 4. I move on to the next game here. I talked about the animations, but the actual scenery of this game is actually really good. Exploring these different worlds. I've spent the most time in this planet called Eos, and for those who've played it, they know it's like the kind of like the first main planet that you're doing a lot of your objectives on. It's a desert environment, but it does look really pretty to be in, and it makes you
Tatooine.
kind of want to explore a little bit. And just seeing like some of the different like animations in the environment going around and like flying from planet to planet, a lot of that stuff does look really pretty. So they did spend some time making something look good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shout that out. But then finally, the other thing I'm using my phone for is the Mass Effect companion app. And to what you just said about the Injustice app and these operations where you send the team out, they do a mission, they level up, and they come back, and you send them back out. Well, mine, I've been taking a big advantage of because mine actually does push notifications. And you can turn off all the other bullshit it would push notify you for. So I don't have to deal with that. Oh, you've been away from Mass Effect for 6 hours. Please come back.
Hey, you've been playing for 20 minutes. Take a break.
Yeah, like
So this is helping your console game.
it
to
is.
play
So
this.
I actually, since I really started diving into the mobile app, I have not played Mass Effect here just for like work and everything like that. I haven't played for like 3 days, but my strike team has probably gone out on about 14 different missions since then, and every time they go on a mission, they get like a multiplayer currency back that you can reinvest into these strike teams. And evidently, I'm getting like these single player like loot crates. Now, what's in them? I don't know yet. It probably is a lot of garbage or stuff I'll never
Swag,
use.
t-shirts, Funko vinyls.
Hey, some of the armor in that game was pretty cool, so I'll take some of that. But yeah, like I have like 16 of these like crates just waiting for me when I get back to the game.
That's
so. And as like your team levels up, you'll take them to harder missions, and you'll get better gear out of it. So I'm really digging that companion app, and that's something else that like every time my team comes back and I get rewards like another crate or I got some like currency or something, like I should hop back in. I have like a small little impulse to turn the game on if I'm home.
I kind of wish that more games did that. Like Nier, obviously Nier's spectacular, but if that had the hacking games from Nier as like a mobile app, I think standalone like that would be just a fun game. I don't know if you guys saw any of the hacking stuff, but
No, I haven't. No.
I can't remember if it was in a demo or not.
it was definitely not in the demo.
Okay, then no, I haven't seen it.
But yeah, the hacking stuff's really cool in that game, and like that would have been a cool companion
I
app.
think Ghost Recon Future Soldier had a companion app, but I think that was more of like
Like a map and
Yeah,
point the direction out.
That stuff's cool too, though.
because you're playing
Commander
like
mode. Did
'cause-
it ever
'cause you're
come to
playing, like, 4
with
players.
Battlefield to the iPads?
I don't know.
I know that was like an E3 thing. I don't know if they ever made
Yeah,
it
I
though.
don't know. What about the Division? That was a big thing they're going to do with the
I never used it.
Division.
Yeah,
Did that happen though?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because like somebody could like be a drone with
Right,
a
right,
tablet,
right, yeah.
and then they could like scout out stuff.
That was
for
the whole
you,
thing. Is
and-
they were like, "Hey, look, here comes Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack." And Jack's like, "Hey guys, I'm on my iPad. It's me, Jack."
As someone who played the Division, you really didn't need it.
Yeah. I just remember that was the big thing. Like that year that Division was announced, was it 2013? Like that was the iPad.
That
year.
was like a lot. Because
Like-
that was your Battlefield said. Yeah.
Every fucking game was
Yeah,
like,
like-
and you can download our companion app where you can like that was Smart Glass. That was I think Smart Glass is the year before.
I liked what this reminds me of Wind Waker. When you get the Tingle Tuner,
Yeah.
you hook your Game Boy Advance up in the second player port, and the second player can be just this little cursor with Tingle's face on it, and he could be a temporary platform for you for like 3 seconds to walk across something, or just constantly drop bombs on enemies.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 could have benefited from it. I don't know if it was ever updated, but I know that when I started using the companion app, I don't believe it was
right,
in there
you
at
did
launch. Because they have a very similar structure where you send out operation teams and you bring resources back to your another base. But I never got back into the app because it came out right before iOS got their yearly update. And when they got his yearly update, Konami did not want to update the app to make it compatible for the longest time.
Great.
So I ended up deleting it off my phone. I was like, you are a waste of space.
Dang.
Thanks, Konami.
Assholes.
Mass Effect. Good.
Fine.
I thought you said Matt's effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect on this game. I don't know what it's going to be,
Yeah.
but if you're on the fence and it's $60, don't do it. If it's on the fence and you're finding it for like 40 or 30, which at this point you might be, depending on retailers. and
Who's playing
shippings.
this? Anyone or a Mass Effect fan? Like, who are you telling? Like, are you telling me to go buy this, or are you telling somebody who played 1 through 3 that's looking for more?
You want to be a Mass Effect fan going into this.
Got it.
At least from what I've played so far. If the story picks up to the point where it's that Mass Effect 1 or 2 all over again, then that's when I'll recommend it to everyone. But so far, this feels like more Mass Effect, and that could be a good or bad thing depending on what you're looking for.
Cool. Did you play anything else this week?
I did something weird. I don't know how I feel about this personally, but I like what I'm playing.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Little game called Defense of the Ancients 2. In case you don't know what that is, that is Dota 2.
Yeah.
The MOBA.
Yeah.
Do you care to share something?
Yeah, I downloaded it as well. And I played it.
Yeah.
And
we did not play together.
No, we didn't. We should, though.
Yeah, when you download it, that's when I haven't touched a video game in 3 days. But yeah. I like it.
I don't hate it.
There it is. That's all you need. It's like your review of Injustice.
Yeah. So I fired it up last night. I downloaded it yesterday, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. See what this Dota thing's about. See what these MOBAs are all about. And I played Awesomenauts, which is a 2D side scroller, but MOBA.
I have that.
Awesomenauts pretty good. But this one is like, the MOBA of
this
all
is
MOBAs,
like
right?
I mean, I know that or League,
right? But it's the traditional style of what a
top
MOBA,
down,
right.
3 lanes,
yeah. So with that, I was like, well, let's do it and see what the deal is. And fired it up. Katie walked into the office as I was playing it. She goes, "Hey, I'm gonna whatever. I don't remember. It doesn't matter." And then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna play this for a few minutes and I'll be down." And she just looked at the screen. She went, "Oh, it's a real nerds game, huh?" And I went, yeah, it is. She goes, "What are you doing with that?" And I was like, "I don't know. Matt got it, and now I feel like I should try it because I don't know." And then I did, and I don't hate it. I think that if you and I commit to like playing once a week together, I will stay with it. If not, I can't see myself playing with random people. Because that game seems way too competitive and way too niche.
So I have my Dota 2 note, and I got like 2 things here. One, I want to say I like it, because I do like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
But then the second thing I got here is I got steep learning curve.
But what's funny about the learning curve is you kind of get it right away. And then obviously, like, there's so many layers to it.
Yes.
You're like, all right, what do you do in this game? Oh, okay, you have to move through here. And you have to let the things, like, you get it. And then you have to, okay, now I got to take out a tower. All right, cool. And then it's like, oh, wait, there's a lot of towers all over the map. Oh, okay, got it. That's part of the strategy. Great. Okay. Then you get hit with, like, some random opposing character. And you're like, who the fuck is that? Yeah. And then you're like, I got him. And then, nope, you don't. And then you're like, okay.
Because you played the early game, right?
Right. So it's a lot of that, like, kind of balance and whatever.
What I'm finding is these games are longer than I thought. So I've tried to watch it on Twitch from time to time, especially the big tournaments. And man, when they're like talking, it sounds like a foreign language to me with all the terms that are flying out there. I know mid. That was about it. Oh, he's attacking mid. I'm like, oh, cool, middle lane, got it. That. But then it would say another lane. I was like, what the fuck? No, I get it. Like I get it to an extent. I feel like there's parts of the middle game and end game that I need to work on to actually like really get it. But I'm starting to get to the point now where, all right, I know how the game is played, and I know where you should be at certain times.
Right.
Now I need to know the differences between all these heroes, or at least dwindle it down to like get how you should play each class.
Because they're each broken up, by different classes.
So, but then like it's like, all right, so if you're this class, what lane are you supposed to be running?
Right.
How many people are supposed to be in one lane at one time? How do you coordinate these attacks? How do you point out these different things?
Yeah. I would say that, like, right now, my knowledge of it is, like, if you looked at a fighting game and you were like, oh, yeah, there's punches and kicks. And the whole goal is to kick the other guy enough until his health bar is gone. Like,
Me.
Right. I've got that much down of this game. But I don't know the combos yet. I don't know the supers yet. Like, all of that stuff that you would, learn as a skilled fighting game player. in that analogy. Like, I don't have any of that stuff yet. But I'm intrigued too. There's really not many characters that I find that attractive, that's the live or die thing for me too. Because
how many characters have you tried?
It's not about trying. I'm all about that physical appearance. And
God.
I hate fantasy bullshit.
But you love buying bullshit.
I do, but
That was actually the one thing I actually can say good about League is that they had cool costumes.
but what kind of are all of these MOBAs in that kind of dumb setting? Because this is a Warcraft 3 mod, right? Dota 2?
That's how it started off originally.
Yeah.
No, wait. I mean, yes, yeah.
Dota did, right? But I mean, it's grounded in that
because like League was formed out of that.
Right, yeah.
You're talking like the jungle aesthetic and stuff like that.
Not the jungle aesthetic, just the
character design.
Yeah, like he's a high wizard.
I don't give a shit about that.
But I want like something cool. That shit's all fucking dumb.
Well,
Play Smite. You got gods.
No, that's just dumb too.
Heroes of the Storm. That's all you can't. That's all the Blizzards.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that has them all of them.
That includes Diablo.
That part's got.
But also Overwatch.
And StarCraft.
Yeah, well, now you're talking. See, that's what this really did to me. Is playing this, I was
You want to play an RTS now?
Yeah, I just been playing RTS. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm fine with this. If you and I play it, I'll play it. But I was like, ooh, can I run StarCraft? Can I run? Because that's just free to play now, right? No.
No, not StarCraft.
But yeah, I was like,
See, I was never good at an RTS because I was never good at managing multiple things at one time. This is like character focused.
True, yeah. This does have that part.
Oh, okay. I get like the quick, the quick keys and your clicks and stuff like that. I get that part.
Yeah.
But this is character focused. There's a little bit of teamwork involved. I'm not hopped online yet. That seems like a scary, scary environment right now, and I can't do my usual trash talking if I can't back it up.
Right.
I don't want to go in there.
It's all text chat, right? No head chat.
I think you can head chat.
Yeah, you can.
There's some.
It's a Valve game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've really started diving into this, and I've been watching YouTube videos like beginners guides, top 10 heroes to use as a beginner, or top 10 easiest. I have been watching it again on Twitch.
You also have to watch when those top 10s were made because patches and.
Yes, I have been paying attention to that. Good. I like you, Mark. No, I have been paying attention to that. Shockingly enough, I go back and watch a Twitch broadcast. I understand half the terms now.
Interesting.
See, this is my problem with a lot of competitive games is that it's character driven, but it's also
there's a lot of teamwork involved and coordination.
There's also a tier list for everything. So it's you might have a favorite character for sentimental reasons, and then they end up being trash, so you can never use them. Or if you do use them, people will shit talk you about using them or whatever.
Yeah, people generally suck.
You see, I haven't found, or I haven't at least heard of a character as you don't use him, he's completely useless. I feel like there's always at least some kind of niche for every character.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
There's a lot of characters in that roster.
And it's weird because a lot of it is so it's Dota and League are basically like Pepsi and Coke. They share a lot of similarities. They just look a little different. They both have a Wukong Son Goku character. You have the monkey with the staff, and I think Smite does that too now.
I haven't paid attention to Smite for the longest time, so I can.
But yeah, it's always a mix. So it's kind of fantasy. Then you kind of have your tech. You kind of have your ancient Oriental stuff. It's mythical stuff. It's all these things combined. It's weird, but the scenery always has I don't know how to describe it, a sci-fi fantasy feel to it.
And I played Smite a couple rounds of it with Nick, I believe. It was who told me to download it.
Smite actually seemed the most interesting to me.
Yeah, and I played Smite, and that's where I started to learn
I like the
what a MOBA is, how to approach it, how you want to level up these special abilities, and you want to mine the minions in the early game. I kind of got the gist of the MOBA strategy. I don't know. It's something about, maybe it's because I was playing on console. I wanted it on a computer with a mouse and keyboard, and it was watching Giant Bomb sitting with Dota and how who was actually on the computer. I never remember their names. I'm
Brad.
terrible at Brad. It was how Brad like literally was playing Dota for an hour but never played a game because he was opening chests and shit. I was like, no, that's the nerdy shit I want. I'm downloading it, and Joe was just shaking his head. Here we are.
We put that shit on for lunch. Him and I were sitting eating lunch, and I knew it.
was good
As
stuff.
soon as that Dota 2 shit started happening on that stream, I was just like,
Like
Matt.
I played a tutorial for Dota like a while, like years ago, or maybe like 2 years ago, and I was just like, I don't know.
They kind of did the tutorial stuff right
Kind of got
now.
overwhelmed.
They do it right. They do something where, and maybe it's still overwhelming them for you in this case. But this is what I kind of liked about it. Maybe coming fresh off of Bloodborne here a couple months ago helped me.
I was also impatient.
There's like a 15-minute thing where tutorial, you learn mechanics, like
character movement, etc.
not even like all the key mechanics, just like some of them. I feel
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, next tutorial you're gonna play is this class with these abilities. Here you go. It doesn't even tell you like what lanes you go into. It doesn't do any of that shit. It just kind of throws you in there. And that was the best thing that could have happened. By a late game, I got what was going on. By that point, though, with these games, you kind of once momentum starts swinging one way, it's very hard to counter it.
So your team lost that.
I lost against the computers that round, but it was like minute 35 where I got it though.
But that's the kind of game where like your movement isn't real time. You have to like click and tell them
Yeah.
where to go, right?
How
Yeah.
long did your game last? That one in the
The
tutorial.
one I lost about 50 minutes.
Oh, mine was 80, and we won. But yeah,
They're long,
it's
I kinda like it,
long
though.
as fuck.
but there's different phases of it. That's
You
what
see,
I
because
love.
like because for League, like I've only done like people versus AI,
Yeah.
and a normal match was like 30 to 40 minutes, give or take.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty simplistic. I feel like
Is that a 3-player team or a 5-player team?
5.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Dota is a little more technical with everything.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I would
differences
know
at
the
all.
differences, but
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Again, if you and I are like, hey, every fucking Thursday night we're gonna carve out an hour and just do it, then I would be in. But if we lose that, then I can't see myself sticking with it.
I'm itching to go online, but I'm also not ready. I know I'm not ready to go online.
I say we do it.
Maybe it's full of idiots like me, and maybe I'm better than I think, at least at this level. But
I say we just do it. Just dive in.
I don't know any characters. I've used the sniper guy and
It's okay.
the guy, the sword, the second tutorial. I don't even know his
Teamwork makes the dream work.
name.
We
All
got
right,
it.
so when I say crash bottom lane, you better be there.
Yeah, I know what that means. Mark, what have you been up to?
Well, since last episode, got a taste of Mario Kart finally,
Yeah.
and it was weird because like I just didn't care about it coming out.
Really?
Yeah, it was just all right.
Because you played it Wii U enough. And,
right. It's just
Yeah.
and I don't know. It just wasn't really like my thing, and also it just made me miss Sonic a lot more.
Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed.
Yeah,
I'm having that
but
same feeling.
But now it's like now I just think about like where it came from and where it is now. I'm like, wow. So I kind of have like a newer appreciation for it, and also got over the fear of like using a bike.
Oh yeah.
I never used them till this one because it's just like they seem way more advanced, and I'm not like I still have my training wheels on it, but
Yeah.
I find it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I tried bikes on the Wii version. I was like, why did they do
Yeah.
this?
That was where I liked the bikes.
Yeah?
It was the Wii version.
Well, that's because you were rubber banding online and cheating.
What?
That was a glitch
Oh.
on the Wii.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't-
Yeah, no, I like a bike.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of flip back and forth between the bike and the cart, but
Yeah,
I'm primarily a bike man.
still unlocking stuff, but
How do you
Right.
feel about the unlocks? Because I'm like, that's the one thing I'm wishing for more of.
I wish it was a different system, but
I kind of just wish it was all there immediately. I don't care about collecting coins to just keep getting stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
it's,
wish
like,
all
it's
the,
like you gave me all the characters, you gave me all the cups, you gave me everything
Right.
else. Why just go?
just
all
give
the
me all
way?
the carts.
Yeah, just get out of the way. Like who cares?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I do wish that there was something else you could collect. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't bother me either. It's just like whatever. Like I'm still winning. I'm still getting stuff. Like it's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
I wish you had to win or place in the Grand Prix to unlock the stuff. It feels weird
I
that
don't
no,
because I've been striving to be in first.
No.
And I do, and I've only been doing 200cc.
There is something that you get for getting
But
all
that's
golds.
all of them.
Yeah,
That's like per Grand Prix. Like let
You
me.
get like a gold car.
You'll find out.
Something.
I won't spoil it if you don't know.
It's Mario Kart. Like
I'm not
how-
gonna
No,
spoil it.
big spoilers.
Big spoilers.
I'm just gonna look it up.
It's a gold fucking Mario.
Great.
I was gonna say a Gold Roy.
Now that's something worth playing for.
Another metallic.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
but he's gold.
Not doing it.
That was a good Roy impression.
Stopping that.
Yeah, you get all first place on everything in 200cc, and you get a gold Mario.
That's lazy.
Well, eventually you get a gold car too.
It's lazy.
I know.
If only Gold Roy existed.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, I'd be playing that game every day to get the
Mario
Gold
Kart
Roy.
9. Just give it some time.
Submit my feedback. No, you could literally quit a Grand Prix midway through and
Yeah.
unlock the whatever the thing is.
It just reminds me, just a lot of games do that now, where it's just like, hey, you just have a gold weapon. Let's have a gold thing. Just
Yeah.
because, fuck you.
It's an online bragging right thing. That's
Yeah.
it. So
Not-
when you see
not
somebody
my thing.
online with a gold thing, you're like, oh shit, he did all. Okay, good for him. Great.
The only time where I think it mattered was the golden gun in GoldenEye, because it was one hit kill.
Right.
Good stuff. GoldenEye. And Mario Kart. I'm not going to sit here. Yeah.
No, Mario Kart's great.
But everything else,
I love
yeah.
Mario Kart. What
I'm enjoying it.
what else been up to?
Not too much.
Mario
Besides,
Kart
like-
the
I mean,
week.
Well, there's that, but then I don't know if you want to talk about like the stuff that we all played.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I got one more thing on my little list here, but I'll save it. But yeah, we played some. We'll talk about the one we have to re-record.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, Nintendo Land. So expect a video of that at some point. But yeah, we played some Nintendo Land. That was born out of Mario Kart, really, because of me playing Mario Kart and
Oh, okay. I
Playing
thought you
through
meant
the-
like conceptual. I'm like, what?
no. I mean, like me playing Mario Kart and being reminded of all these other Nintendo franchises. I'm like, oh fuck, it just won. And then I was like, oh, Nintendo Land, and we jump back in. Nintendo Land holds up, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't give it a better chance earlier. And I kind of hope that they announce something similar to that, but with Amiibo. Hear me out. I know, Matt. I know. I just dropped the big boot, right? But so Nintendo Land, for those who didn't play it, is a collection of mini games, but I can't even call them mini games. They're full-fledged games. Well,
you can call them mini games.
all right, they're mini games.
They're just well polished mini games.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
They're each based on a different Nintendo property. So you have one where it's like basically it's a third-person Pac-Man, but somebody is running as Mario and whoever's
I actually
holding
really enjoyed that one, by the way.
Yeah. So what's it called? Chase Mario or Mario Chase?
Mario Run.
Yeah. Whoever's got the gamepad is Mario running through a maze, and everybody with Wii remotes is Toad chasing after that person
On the main TV.
There's a Luigi's Mansion one. There's a Metroid one. There's Link. I mean, like you name.
Zelda's my favorite one.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
If you're well coordinated with it, it works.
I feel like that one was very plotting. It was too slow.
It's slow because of the progression, because you auto move and you can like slow yourself down.
I think that's what it is.
But it gets really tough.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't go easy on you.
But yeah, we skipped that one for the recording, so maybe when
Yeah.
we re-record, we'll do that.
It's because I got to the very end, but I didn't get to Ganon.
Yeah, Nintendo Land's really good. But here's what I want. Right, we've got all these amiibo, but they never did a proper like amiibo game.
Yeah, you got your expansion, Animal Crossing.
Because you can only use like
Well, there's
six characters.
there's the Animal Crossing board game, board game with the
Oh,
amiibo.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Amiibo festival
I
or
want
Thank you for bringing that back
I want
up.
the Skylanders of amiibo. Like I want the thing.
Oh, you want a Crash game?
No,
'Cause that's
goddamn
coming
it.
June 30th.
I want the one that's
whatever. I
like,
see what you're saying though.
you know, hey, it doesn't matter which amiibo you bought, you can scan it in and get something in here. Right? I think that would be a cool ass game. Think about Switch,
Disney
right?
Infinity.
Yeah. Like you got the toy box, but you've also got this big campaign where everything kind of crosses over and bleeds together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like the idea of Switch, right? The whole like the thesis statement of the Switch, if you will, to take that thing wherever and always have at least 2 controllers ready to go. You can go, like, you could be a kid, you could be a man, you could be anything in between the two. But you're switching the bag with a couple of your favorite amiibo, you go to a friend's house, pop it out, and you guys are both playing. You scan your favorite amiibo in, whatever it is. Like, I don't know. But you like that whole idea of, like, portability, those things are portable enough.
I think that's what they were trying to do with Smash to a point. Because you have your own custom-made character, and they want to push, like, that custom part of it.
Yeah.
And nobody ever used
right,
it.
that it was like, it's fine, but
Yeah.
like a full-ass game behind it. Even if it wasn't a full-ass game, it was just a collection of mini-games, but, like, when I scan, I don't know, when I scan the Animal Crossing one in, I get to play the weird candy catcher game. When I scan the Samus one in, we get to go fight some fake bad guys. When I scan the Ness one in, we all get to cry at the end. Like, that, whatever it is, I just want it. But anyway, yeah, Nintendo Land's good. I like it. How did you like Nintendo Land?
It was fine.
was
How much
fine.
was that game like at the launch? 60?
At
50?
launch, I want to say 50.
Yeah, no.
I think 50, but it came with...
It was typically bundled.
So, well, there were 2 bundles at the launch. There was the basic console, which was the white one that was 8 gigs, internal storage, and no packing.
Yeah.
Then there was the 32 gig that came with Nintendo Land and came
Called,
with...
like, Pro or something
Which was like a
that, the
standard
Pro
at this
bundle.
point.
Yeah, now that's the standard bundle. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, standalone Nintendo Land was $50, not the pack-in. But I think later you could buy it for $30 with a Luigi Wii remote packed into it, which I almost bought that version and then didn't. I don't know why I didn't.
I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm very, very similar feelings to what Wii Sports was, where like you have these mini games, but there is a level of depth if you want it there. And like so in Wii Sports, like you could keep playing something and go pro, and then there were like these training modes where there were like these super cool mini games inspired by the actual sport itself. Like I always remember the bowling mini game where the pins in number keep growing, and
Right,
it was
yeah.
super cool.
Did you know about the trick with riding the rail?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, I play the hell out of those mini games. Like I played a lot of time in the Wii Sports, and that's
I
kind of
actually like
shocking
the,
depending on that game.
I really appreciated the resort one a lot. My favorite was the stick, the sword fighting, where like it took you through a map that you auto walk through,
Mhm.
so kind of like the Zelda one, and you would just come across all these different sword fighters, random Mii's along the way, and you have to find where to strike them and all that as you're going.
Oh, that was the one that came with the Plus, the Wii Motion Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it came bundled in. Yeah.
Or was that Wii Party? Whatever.
It was Wii Sports Resort because that's how I got
Yeah, it
my,
definitely wasn't Wii Party.
my Plus. What was it called?
Wii
Plus?
Motion Plus, yeah. The
And that
updated
table
one.
tennis, like I like that one.
Yeah, the ping pong was really good in that, and the dog frisbee.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I don't know. The good games. We'll re-record that. Our audio got fucked up on it, so whatever. Another excuse to play Nintendo Land.
Do you notice something about it though?
What?
Like the aesthetic?
The
Everything is like
candy coated.
that, but like almost toy-like in a way.
Yeah. Which is why I'm like,
It's
Amiibo.
also cool because Nintendo started out as a toy company.
Yeah.
You know,
And it produced a Fisher Price toy.
look at that. And it had a little, and then they also made that claw hand thing. Do you know that? You know the little extender.
Yeah.
It was a Gunpei Yokoi joint.
Yeah.
We also played Rayman for the PlayStation 1, which
Yeah.
that's a hard game, man.
That game's brutal.
It's a hard game. So that video did survive and is on the site right now. It's a retro spotlight you can go check out on the website or on our YouTube. And yeah, Rayman is really tough, but really, really beautiful.
Yeah. It's vibrant. It's pretty, but
Yeah.
it's slow, but smooth. And it gets you aggravated.
He doesn't feel good to play. Like he doesn't feel.
Yeah.
When you're so used to the Marios of the world, even the Sonics of the world, like Rayman is.
I mean, it was fun to play. That game was just brutally hard.
It makes you appreciate the newer ones.
Yeah, I think. And Matt, you had never played Origins, so I think we gotta. That'll be
fun.
do a
Shovel
little.
Knight. No.
I know. We'll do a never played of it eventually. Yeah, we do gotta get you to play Shovel Knight though.
I'm itching.
I played one more thing. So Matt talked about weird things he played called Dota that I ended up doing.
Good stuff.
But I played a classic game from 2010 called Metroid Other M, which is not...
You don't hate it.
You don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. So it starts off with one of the most. You guys have both played through Super Metroid.
I'm aware of the story and all that.
Nah, not really.
Because this takes place after.
Oh
that?
right, we did that.
Yeah.
That retro spotlight. Yeah, that was your first time playing it. Yeah. So this follows Super Metroid. So I'm gonna spoil the ending of Super Metroid.
Fuck.
Okay, I'm letting you know. I'm letting the listeners know that's gonna be a thing that
I
happens.
don't have
right
an option
now.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I could not spoil it, but I'm just not. This game is.
Well, here's the thing. They showed it in a trailer for the game.
Yes.
They mention it.
Also, surprise. you
So,
killed-
and for Other M, though, that I stayed away from all the trailer coverage.
Oh yeah, right. Here's the fun thing. That's a surprise. You kill Mother Brain at the end of every fucking game. So.
No!
Right,
Why?
yeah, I know.
Another Bowser,
I know.
another Ganon. Another...
Yeah.
Ganon? Bowser? What?
Who are these? So, Super Metroid, the ending of that, again, 16-bit, still beautiful, right?
Yeah.
But 16-bit, you know what it looks
Graphic.
like. Yeah, brutal. But Samus in Metroid 2 finds the baby Metroid, the last hatchling at the end of Metroid 2, and then it follows her and kind of stays with her. She takes it back to the Galactic Federation, which is where Super Metroid starts, where the hatchling is inside of a little thing. They're studying it to try and find whatever.
Well,
and then
Metroid is held in captivity.
Right. Ridley drops in, steals it, and then fucks shit up. At the end of the game, the baby Metroid comes and saves your life as you're fighting Mother Brain, thus sacrificing itself in the whole mess.
Mm-hmm.
A very iconic scene. You play through it, you know it, you love it, etc. In Other M, the game starts out with a full CG rendering of that whole scene, and it's fucking
I think that's
fantastic.
what they showed in the trailer. Is that
Yeah,
the same?
yeah.
That was beautiful.
It's so good looking. Like it looks, it's
cinematic.
yeah, it's like really cinematic. Like the camera angles are really, really smart. Like it's just really cool. And for someone who's a Metroid fan who's played, and it's just like holy shit, I'm seeing. Whoa, this is really it just immediately like immersive, and you're excited and you feel intrigued to be in this world. And then you dive in and you're in a tiny room, and there's some guy behind glass, and he goes, "Samus, you should press 1 to shoot." And you're like, okay. He's like, "Oh, great job, Samus. Now, walk to the left. Stand in the middle of the room. Great job, Samus. That's how you move, using that thing." And you're like, God damn it. I just want to play the fucking game. Why? It starts off so powerful. Like, it's such a good opening. And you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I always find it weird when a game character tells me the controls.
I hate it.
And it's
Except Metal Gear Solid. Because there's just
Well,
something...
there's a smart way to do
Yeah,
that, right?
like,
This is...
other games are just like there's no context for you to be doing this.
And
How do
he
you
don't- I
know?
don't
How
think
did you
he-
have all of a sudden you
I don't
just
think
broke
he
the-
actually says press 1, but he's like, "We're going to need you to test out your firing." And on the screen it says press 1 to fire. And
Because
then,
there will be games where they're
I
like,
know,
hey, hit
yeah.
the A button. I'm like, you're not supposed to know you're in the
Snake,
Matrix,
hit
buddy.
Snake, hit the action button.
yeah. So once you're in, so the story of this game, it does follow Super Metroid, and with hey, everything's done. We saved the world. We blew up everything. Mother Brain's gone forever. It's time for Samus to find another bounty. So she heads out to some ship where there was a distress signal, because there's always a distress signal, and she's always got to respond to it. She gets there, and some team members of the Galactic Federation are there on patrol. One of which is named Adam, who was her old like general, and you're immediately kind of thrown into this weird. There's some weird tension there. Like he's kind of a dick to her, and she's kind of just like she's not a dick to him, but she's kind of just looking at him like. something happens, like a monster pops up, and this guy being kind of standoffish, like he says something like, Samus is like, so what's going on? What's happening? Why are you guys here? And like one of the guys who was excited to see her because she used to be in the Galactic Federation was just like, oh, well, you know, and then Adam steps in. He's like, it's classified information for Galactic Federation members only. And I was like, oh, you're a fucking dick. You're just a fucking dick. And Samus like, okay, fine, whatever. Be a dick. I don't give a shit. Then a monster pops up, so everybody has to fight. And then the guy's like, okay, Samus, you can help us, I guess, but I'm not authorizing the use of this, or that. And it's like, oh, cool. So I had all my weapons, and now I don't because you don't give me authorization to use them. What a great fucking
Symphony of the Night.
Stupid. No, but right? Symphony at least had a cool way to do
smart.
It. Death came in and was like, fuck you.
Yeah, but still, it's just...
But this was arbitrary, stupid, whatever. Like, it immediately was like, fine. Like, to start the week off talking about this like amazing sense of discovery in games that I've had like kind of reignited in me, to go into this where it's just like, nope, we're going to get your progression just because we want to get your progression. So, and we'll slowly give things back to you, but not because you're going to find them and earn them, but just because you kind of hit a checkpoint and some dong just says, yeah, you can have a weapon back now.
It feels like that. It feels unnecessary to get that much explanation to a feature like that, where it's just like, they didn't have to say all that. It didn't have to be exposed. It didn't have to be brought out in the open. Like, hey,
but I think they really wanted to
we're making you start from the beginning so you know how to play this game and learn the controls and get better with everything. Then
I think they really wanted to try and like focus on the fact that this is a narrative driven thing, and they're trying to dive into her backstory and why would she be so willing to, you know, obey this dude and whatever. So whatever, that's what it is. But,
I mean, even approaching it from that narrative angle, though, isn't every Metroid game like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just buy into that. All right, this is Metroid.
Like
right,
I'm already assuming going into a Metroid game that I don't have anything. You don't have
exactly,
to show me that I'm having everything stripped.
Yeah, like just.
I'm already thinking that.
I guess the fact that they started with right at the whatever.
There's so many different ways to write that.
I mean, I get it. Like,
yeah, it just wasn't
your armor malfunction or something like that because of the error.
Canonically,
it makes something stupid, even like that.
Which I think is one of the plots of one of them, right? But so you get onto you get in, you're finally getting going, and what happens with the game is it's a 2D game. So you're holding the Wii remote on its side, you're using D-pad to move, and you're using the 1 and 2 buttons. 2 is jump and 1 is fire. So it is like a modern day NES, right? You're kind of having that experience all over again, but in 2010. With that, a 2D game is very much on a single plane, right? You kind of know what's in front of you. You shoot on a level, it goes right there, whatever. It's not like automatically locked to that enemy. You have to kind of be a little precise with it and whatever, but you know what to do. This one is still...
It's like on an angle.
It's a 3D game on a 2D plane.
The 2.5D.
And it will occasionally, like, you'll go around a corner and it will follow the camera behind her in a way, but you're kind of locked to this rail the whole time. So navigation, you really just run in any 8 directions. But it's really just left or right, and it doesn't matter. And if you're holding right and the camera changes, it's even though you're going up, it'll know what you're doing. Enemies will kind of go on rails as well, and you're just tapping 1, and it's auto firing and auto targeting all of them. So it kind of does a lot of the work for you, which just doesn't feel very Metroidy to me in that way. Like, okay, great, I'm still shooting bugs in space, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing any work. I'm literally just tapping A when I'm in proximity of something, and then they're all dead all of a sudden. But then comes in the Wii part of it, right? Because you have this controller that's so special and so weird and unique, and in order to fire missiles in this game, because you know those are a very important part of Samus's arsenal, thank you. In order to fire missiles, you have to point the Wii remote at the television. And what that does is takes it from that 2D side-scroller view to a first-person, much like Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Except you're locked into position when you do that. So there's no movement once you turn and point the Wii remote at the thing. Which, I remember this now because when I first tried to play this years ago, because I bought this 2011, I had a renaissance with my Wii. I remember it clear as day. There were all the rumors about Project Cafe. And I was like, oh, yeah, Nintendo's going to be good again. Can't wait. This weird HD thing with a screen in the controller. So excited. And I ran out and I was like, man, I never picked up Galaxy 2. I'm going to get that. I picked up Galaxy 2. I picked up GoldenEye on Wii. And I picked up the 25th anniversary Mario All-Stars collection on Wii. I got myself a Classic Controller Pro. Like, I doubled back down on Wii. And one of the games I found, because again, 2011 is almost a year later, was Other M, and it was on clearance for $7. And I was like, why the fuck wouldn't a Metroid game sell? Whatever, $7, give me it. Grabbed it, started playing through it, got to a point where I was like, why I don't have a nunchuck? Why can't I use a nunchuck for navigation? This is stupid. And now I'm in this, and then if you're not in the exact space that you need to be in when you turn, you're just fucked. You're all of a sudden being attacked, or it's cumbersome to turn the Wii remote back around, and you just feel stupid. Like, you feel incompetent trying to, I don't know.
Seems frustrating.
It's ugh. You get like tongue tied in your hands. It's not a good feeling. And then when you think of Metroid, you really think of that just like, okay, let me get lost, let me find my way, let me find secrets, and then let me backtrack to things that I couldn't otherwise pass. And in this, you clear a room, and it puts a marker for where the secret is in the room, right? So
Clever.
And clearing the room isn't any challenge at all. You hit 1 5 times, and then all the enemies drop, and then boom, here's a marker. And there's a missile pickup or, whatever. Like, it's so not Metroid. Like, it's really ambitious too. Like, what they're trying to do is really cool.
This is Team Ninja, right?
Yeah. But it just doesn't all come together the way that I wish it would have.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of people's consensus.
But it's a cool game. It's fun to play, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Like, the trailer did a good job advertising it.
Oh my god!
The one part that I got hyped on was that, like, she does like a wrestling move to one of the aliens, and like, pretty much so, like, Stone Cold stuns one of them, gives them a headlock, and then blasts her face up.
I'm in. Like, hold on, wait. You just said Stone Cold Stunners.
Basically, like, just jumped down. She fell. Like, her back's on the ground. Just blast the alien point blank. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. So you've got these moves where you can. There's a couple of them. Like, one of them, if you jump in the air and you land on an alien, you can, like, press the thing and just kind of, like, shoot them in the neck and they drop. Yeah. Or there's one where if you're charging at them and you hit the button at the right time, it'll do that. It, like, kind of grabs them and flips them.
See, like, Team Ninja knows how to do, like, their fighting moves.
Yeah.
Because, like, in so seeing this game, you're thinking, like, oh, Ninja Gaiden.
Right.
Or, like, Dead or Alive.
Right.
Or whatever. And it's just, no, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I like it. I wish I loved it. But I think, again, like, that Mario Kart thing, like, really fucked with me this week. Obviously, we played Nintendo Land, now I'm playing this, but that idea of, like, wanting to see more of Nintendo's franchises again, like,
I think that's coming soon.
I think it is too, but it just feels like it's been so long, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, everybody feels it's long overdue with Metroid, F-Zero.
F-Zero. Yeah, but even like Pikmin, Fox in a way. Luigi's Mansion, Star Fox, we at least got one last year. I know it wasn't what everybody wanted. It was just another, like, kind of remake. Yeah. But it just, I don't know. I want all of it. I don't know. But this is the only game I've never touched, really, in the Metroid series. Maybe Prime 2, I don't think I played much of, so I'll go back to that one.
Yeah, I still need to play the trilogy of that.
You have it on your Wii U?
No.
I should get it, man.
I'm just waiting for it to get re-released on Switch.
Yeah.
I played that one. I played a lot of the first Prime. It was the third one I didn't get much of.
Yeah, Corruption was the one on Wii.
Yeah, I don't know if... Is Wii, like, a good platform for it? I still have my GameCube.
If you still have your GameCube, I mean, go for it, but...
And I'm sure aiming is probably fun with the Wii remote, but...
Yeah, I do like moving. Like, that was one of the things I loved about Corruption when it came out, was having the nunchuck and having the Wii remote, and just, like, you feel not like Samus, but like Samus, you know what I mean? Like, and this is, like, pre-VR, pre any of that stuff. Like this is again like back when the tech was really really novel and cool, and just fresh. So that was a nice feeling. And then the Prime trilogy now playing through Prime again with the Wii remote controls. It's like, yeah. I wish you had the option to do both if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it's Virtual Console, so
Right.
This is the Wii version that was ported specifically to have motion control, so whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing Other M probably for some reason, but we'll see. E3 is not far away. They announced everything. Nintendo announced E3 stuff. Sony confirmed their press conference, so everything is lining up pretty nicely. Next couple weeks, actually, we'll probably have some predictions shows. Yeah. Why don't we take a quick break and we'll come back. We'll do kind of a. We're gonna do show and tell. We're just gonna do a quick version of show and tell, if you will. Yeah, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Free Cheese, episode 197. It's time for show and tell, where just like when you're a little kid and you go to school and you bring something cool, every week we bring something that we found cool to talk about. Mark,
Yes.
show and tell me something cool about video games.
All right. Well, how do you feel about rhythm games?
I feel pretty good about rhythm games.
Okay.
What do you first think of?
Guitar Hero.
Parappa the Rapper.
Another good one.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Guitaroo Man?
I remember, I thought it was Guitaru Man.
Well, in the game, they're like, ooh, Guitaroo Man.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's probably, yep. Yeah, yes.
Well, imagine the creators of those games joining together.
Which games?
Okay, so the company Nana on Sha, which roughly translates to like Seventh Sound or something like that.
Sure.
Masaya Matsura, I think I'm botching
Yeah,
it.
that was the guy who did the...
He did Parappa.
Yes.
And then the creator of Guitaroo Man from Enice, Keiichi Yano, banding together to make a new driven rhythm action adventure game, currently titled Project Rap Rabbit.
I think that's called Project Trademark Game.
Definitely. I didn't really grow up with like Parappa the Rapper. I like Parappa. I have a beanie of Parappas.
Do you like the rap?
I mean, I played it more recently.
Yeah,
Actually,
but I feel like looking at the...
it was that game that I broke my PSP.
Oh.
It dropped it. And
Parappa?
Yeah, like I was playing it for PSP and I dropped it and I had a bowl of food on the floor and it hit the rim of the bowl and I was like,
I thought like it bricked your. Never mind. All right.
no,
You physically broke it.
no. That and Guitar Man, I had both on PSP.
I miss PSP, man.
I love that game.
Never owned one. Never owned one.
The one
I
Keystone
got the
Song,
PSP Go after I bought a Vita, so
All right.
but definitely Guitar Man, big fan of. Love that game. Love
Yeah.
the music, art style, everything. But yeah, they didn't show much. It's just like
Yeah, the trailer's really like...
it's just animated concept art.
And it's barely animated at that.
Yeah, it's everything just kind of just motions in, like flash animation just tweens in there.
Yeah.
But it has like a very like feudal Japan look to it.
Yeah.
You have like a young, what's his face?
Master Splinter?
Usagi Yojimbo.
Yeah.
It's like a younger version of that. And then you have like a little frog with him, with like a little one wheel, like a motor unicycle.
Yeah.
There's like UFOs. It's gonna get crazy.
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah. And like, but watching it, like hearing the music, it was like like the feudal, nice Japan music, and then you have like record scratching in there. I was like, Samurai Champloo, immediately. It's gonna be.
So this, I really don't know anything about this game. Actually, I know zero about this.
Nobody
game.
Nobody does really,
yeah.
but on their Twitter, there was
True.
a butt ton of fan art.
Oh, cool.
True. So, this is like a driving, like it's a rhythm game, but there's about a story about like driving to somewhere, right? Is that what that's what I got at?
Well, no, it's just
Read-
on, just on the side. There was a little frog psychic character with his own little vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were saying like the
No, it's
gist
not the
of
main. The main
driving.
thing.
Okay,
the main
never
thing is
mind.
just like a rabbit in like a robe.
Oh.
And he's
I'm
just
really
chilling
like we
on
don't
the
know
roof.
what the game is gonna look like, play like, feel like, or anything. But they said they're gonna talk about it soon, right?
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
So if not E3, around that.
Or
Yeah.
before.
That's what I mean. Like before, or after, probably before.
it seems it's got the stench of a Kickstarter though. Like it doesn't sound to me
It's
like
like a
yeah.
stench though.
Yeah,
I don't mean that in a bad way. I just
Okay.
mean
no,
like
but like
I
usually,
mean it has all the makings of that. Like
if
Yeah.
you're because the first flag is like veteran game designers.
right.
And they usually band together and make something. And how many Kickstarters have there been that is
Right.
that's the selling point?
It's like veteran game designers capitalizing on a thing you love from a long time ago, giving you art that doesn't really give you anything, and you can tell it's art that was kind of just thrown together in a way.
It definitely has, yeah.
It has like the, hey, it's Friday, so we can't say anything, but Monday we're
Yeah.
going to announce a Kickstarter, whatever.
Or something similar of
Yeah.
the like. Like, I mean, that's pretty cool art, I guess, somebody made.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I think it's also a little ambitious.
Man, I really hope they learn.
'Cause
how
now I'm- 'cause now I'm, like,
kick
also-
and jump in.
I love that something like this is happening, but like, I'm also very skeptic.
You going to back it?
I'm afraid to.
Never
if,
backed
if,
anything
if, that,
in
if,
my
that, if that's the case, I'm afraid to.
I've backed shit before, but I don't know. What did I back?
I think the last thing I backed was Minecraft,
Oh wow.
which I realized didn't even need it.
Yeah. I backed
I just wanted to play the game early.
I
think
backed
that's-
Bloodstained, but then at the last second I was like, "Oh shit, I need that money." And I pulled out right before the campaign ended.
Hmm.
Which sucks cuz I wanted to be able to give him money, but
And then I backed like that documentary
about
about Minecraft.
Oh, that
I didn't
one.
get till like 2 years later after I didn't give a shit anymore. And I was like, why did I?
that's so
Why
that
did
happened
I
to
do
me. Like I backed
Because you can watch it free now, like on YouTube. I'm
Yeah.
like, why did I?
well, you made it happen. You know, you should feel good about that.
Yeah, I'm in the credits.
Yeah.
Big contributor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I backed Amplitude.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that was another one where it was like, this game, that was a fucking dope game. I want another one of those. Yeah, I'll give it money. Wish it were better.
I think with this kind of game though, I shouldn't be afraid about backing it. You know, like if it's something I'm passionate about and I like that, I appreciate the games and what it is, and you know, being like a music background myself. Yeah,
I feel like if there's any game that Mark would ever back, it would be this game.
right, and like, yeah, and like I won't feel bad about it if like nothing really happens because it's like I can't imagine just like disappearing.
No.
Unlike that Boogerman one that I didn't even know existed.
God, man, that's ugh.
Yeah, and then like what with Psychonauts 2, that's through Fig.
Fig. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fig's.
Then you have
Totally
like
different.
Shenmue 3, and who knows what's happening.
Yeah, I was just talking about Shenmue this morning,
Yeah. So
as you do.
Oh, okay.
just because you're wild, I gotta
We
show
were-
that people care.
I was texting Ben about E3 shit, and I was like, "I'm telling you, man, this is the year of dreams. Like, I think it's gonna be good." And he was like, "Yeah, but I think Shenmue 3 is gonna get delayed." And I was like,
Yeah. Release date?
I
I don't think it really had a specific one. It
I
had
thought
like,
it had like a loose.
I thought it was barely announced when it was actually announced.
I don't know. I feel like I had to lose something. I was like, "Yeah, no, whatever that." I don't know. But I was like, "Shit, we haven't seen anything about that, have we?"
That was very shady.
it does make
That
me want,
whole Shenmue 3 thing. I didn't like the way that.
You think
ended
Adam
up.
Boyce took off with the money?
No, but it was. he probably. Hey, he could have.
No,
at
but if
this
there's all
point.
that detail in the first Shenmue, it's probably gonna be a butt ton of detail in.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the way that like Sony came out with like, "Hey, we're proud to announce a Kickstarter." I'm like, "All right, that's weird, but okay." And then like a few weeks later, it turns out that Sony was funding part of it, and I was like, "Well, why didn't you just fund the whole thing if you were behind the project?"
Kind of like that.
It was very. I didn't like
that
the. I
early
left the
investors
bad
meeting
taste in my
with the
mouth.
Switch, with the
Why? I didn't hear anything. You said.
with that early is an investor meeting with the Switch or whatever they were showing off, and it was like Grasshopper.
Oh yeah.
It was like just talking
When-
about the concept of
When
the game.
Suda came out and was just
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, weird. But I don't know. Whatever this Rap Rabbit is.
The fact that they have that much already, though, like that kind of concept art to show and some kind of hint of music, it seems like they have something already to show you. It's not like, hey, we only have this concept art, and if you pay us now, we'll develop it into something.
I mean, if that's what they come out with, hey guys, that trailer we showed last week, it's an idea we have.
Yeah, if that was it, I'd be afraid.
Yeah.
So
no,
I think they have something to show.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, Matt, what do you got?
Some kind of saddening news. IO Interactive, the developer of the now famous Hitman series, Square Enix is selling them off.
Great.
At least attempting to.
Fantastic.
Just when everybody's loving this last Hitman game.
I was gonna say this kind of disappoints me, and I was listening to a podcast. It might have been Giant Bomb. They were saying that season 2 has been weirdly quiet. It was announced, I believe, and they were getting ready to do it, but it's just been weirdly quiet. And they were just thinking it was probably E3. And it might be because of this stuff.
So they're just selling that company, and I guess all the people that are working on that game.
So
this doesn't mean they're out of business.
No, IO is still.
IO is still up and running, and their Twitter account were saying, people were tweeting from it like, "Hey, yeah, thanks for your support. We're obviously really busy right now." Blah blah blah.
But isn't Hitman owned?
Eidos is. This is IO.
Oh, IO. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine.
Isn't Hitman owned by Square Enix?
It's kind of like it came. Square Enix,
not originally.
Square Enix bought IO, which meant they bought Hitman. It came with.
I was gonna say it depends on the language of that contract.
Yeah, so Square's only a publisher, I think, with this.
Here's what Square said about getting rid of IO. It says to maximize player satisfaction as well as market potential going forward. Square has regrettably decided to withdraw from the business of IO Interactive. With that, it's not even like it just we don't want to do that anymore. As a result of this, the company started discussions with potential new investors and is currently in negotiations to secure this investment. So it's basically, we have this thing, we want to get rid of it, who wants to buy it? Whilst there can be no guarantees that the negotiations will be concluded successfully, they are being explored since this is in the best interests of our shareholders, the studio, and the industry as a whole.
Isn't it always?
So I think that means
first.
Right. I think that means that what they want to do is sell IO with Hitman to someone, get the money they want to get for it, and let Hitman continue to live, let IO continue to live, let everybody keep doing what they're doing, just have a different parent company. That seems like what it is. But it's fucking dumb. And I'm only saying it's fucking dumb because they had a really successful year last year.
But did they?
It looked like they did.
I think at first Hitman didn't do well, but once you got everything, it's fine now. Like, it's better now.
I think Hitman was maybe the weak part, but initially. Like if you look at Square as a whole,
Square as a whole.
I thought you meant just Hitman. Sorry.
Well, all right, now I gotta think of the Square catalog. I was gonna say Hitman. I don't think it sold as well as they anticipated.
Probably not.
And that was a very confusing pricing structure, and that would explain that.
Sure.
That's the reason why I don't have it right now, because I don't know how the hell to buy the game.
But
Dragon Quest blew up.
Dragon Quest really blew up.
Dragon Quest is like their Fire Emblem. Like, it's getting more recognition.
Totally. You had Final Fantasy 15 last year.
Yeah, but how much money was lost in that?
In what?
On 15.
You can't look at it that way. You've got to look at like.
Well, we're talking about.
No, but no, you're talking about like year over year over year over year. But if you look at just last fiscal year, what they spent on Final Fantasy 15, you know what I mean? Because all of the years they were spending money on Versus 13, that was going into their fiscal year,
That's
right?
True, yeah.
This year, right? So,
but you could argue that because of it being the final year, the ramp up and additional hires and stuff like that.
But even with that, even with whatever they put into it to get it out the door, it still sold incredibly well.
And then you have Explorers.
But I recall a few years ago when like they didn't do so hot, and they were like, "Yeah, well, it's Tomb Raider's fault." And I was like, "Fuck you! That game sold
I was gonna say
the most." You remember that?
Yeah,
story?
It was. This was around the time of Absolution too. Hitman Absolution.
Right.
Yeah, both of them were like, "Oh, that didn't sell well enough." Meanwhile, they sold millions of copies. Actually,
Yeah.
it was like $3 million for a Hitman can't
not
speak
good
to Tomb Raider.
It's never good.
I don't know. We talked about that Hitman game around Game of the Year stuff. That like, oh shit, we didn't play that. We should have played that.
I'm still curious, even though like
Yeah, I am too. It looks really cool.
I think
what
that's gonna happen a lot more this year.
I wonder how that impacts the Square, was it Marvel? Yeah, Square Marvel deal.
Probably doesn't.
I don't know, but you just lost a talented developer. And I would say IO is probably one of the more talented developers.
Again, though, I think that they've already made that deal with Marvel where they're
Well,
like,
yeah, they already made that deal, but I wonder, like, Square kind of has some probably in the pipeline for them to make. Like, what
For
here-
IO?
Probably.
I think they were working on Hitman 2, Season 2, and Square's like, look, dudes, it didn't do as well as we wanted it to. Sorry, you gotta go.
Oh, you don't think they were planning
IO?
something? Now, maybe not in development actively, but planning something. Because how long is that contract? I don't remember.
They might have been. You're maybe, but I feel like more so the Tomb Raider team would be tapped to do like a whatever game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure IO. There's some interesting concepts with like, not like a Hitman game, but that kind of open world mentality. There's 18,000 ways to do the objective you're set out to do. Like that kind of game. Like if they specialize in that, you can probably do something really cool. Because it's just not something you see every day in a game nowadays.
True. I don't know. We should get that game. We should play that.
How do you buy it?
You just buy the season pass and download it all.
Is that? I thought that was like just buying the game.
No, my friend Alex has been playing it.
Yeah.
Lately. He's obsessed.
Yeah, I think
Your
told him-
game was great.
I told him about the killing people with cans thing.
there's so many fucking dumb things you can do in that game. Just seeing.
I love the idea of it. Like once, like me and you were to get good, like drawing random shit out of a hat. Like
Oh yeah,
Giant Bomb
Giant
did,
Bomb,
like
yeah.
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I think it'd be a fun game for us to
Yeah.
fuck around with. Yeah, that's a shame because people seem to really like it, and it seemed like they had a good thing going for once.
I think maybe this could be good for them.
Yeah. I mean, it could end up like,
Sony buys them,
It's possible.
it could be.
although they've been selling out their companies more than or studios than
Yeah.
buying.
Or I don't know. Yeah, weird.
Let's go
We'll
work
have
for
to-
Kojima. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll have to see
Rockstar buys it.
what happens.
Ooh. Maybe we'll get that Asian game that we been
Maybe
waiting for.
But yeah, I mean, like you got to figure they're selling the company, they're selling the license, and they're selling the engine.
Is it the license? Are we
Well, the property Hitman came with IO, so it's
okay?
They were like, nobody saw the movie.
Ooh. Yeah, they did 2 attempts at that too. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that nobody ever saw, Sonic Extreme was unearthed recently. So Unseen64 is a really, really rad website, YouTube channel, etc., that covers games that never were released. And this week put up a thing about Sonic Extreme, which was a Sonic the Hedgehog skateboarding game.
Why not?
This is fucking cool. So, buckle down for this one. There's a company called Vision Scope, and they worked in the late 90s, early 2000s. Largely, their biggest success was creating a tech deck game. So it was this, tech decks,
Like-
those tech decks.
Okay.
The little
Yep,
tiny
the finger
fingerboards.
skateboard.
finger
Okay, got it.
the tech deck game was essentially, imagine like today's Toys to Life. You buy the thing
These are the
with
little
the
thumb
game.
mascots.
You had the thumb mascots, and basically you were buying those toys. And when you bought a pack of those toys, it came with a game. Those didn't actually scan in or anything, but it was just the idea that you would buy Thummy and Thumbo, and it would come with a certain game. You'd buy a different set, and it would have.
It's funny that they're thumbs, so we never use them with fingerboards.
I know.
You never use your face on a fingerboard
True.
You'll know that.
or on a skateboard. That's what I meant to say. Skateboard. I
Um,
mean, you could, and it's not going to work out well for you.
But the the games were the pack-in games of these little guys were, they had different levels depending on which pack you bought. So if you bought this pack of 2, you got 2 specific levels. You got 2, like you'd have to buy all of the different things in order to get all of the different levels and experience this whole big game. So really like early Skylander stuff. They used that same engine, and they were hired by THQ to develop a Rocket Power game. So they use the same skateboarding engine. They're working on a Rocket Power game. There's footage of it in this Unseen 64 video of like 3D models, actually pretty good looking 3D models for the time, of the Rocket Power characters. Rocket Power, listeners, was a Nicktoon, as they were called, about 4 skateboarding friends doing all sorts of extreme sports in the early 2000s. So they're knee deep into this Rocket Power game. They're about to put it into alpha testing, and THQ's like, we got to spend some money some other places. See you later, guys. And just pulled the plug on the whole project. Drop the contract. They're like, okay, cool. Well, we need to pivot. We got to make money. We got to do something. And they were able to secure a contract with Sega to do the CG work for Sega's upcoming Sonic Heroes. Remember that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're given access to all these different assets for Sonic Heroes because they're making all the in-game cutscenes. And so they're given 3D models, they're given promotional art, they're given promo art from older games that it had already come out. And using all of this stuff, they repurposed Sonic models and some of the old art and put together a tech demo in their skateboarding engine of these Sonic characters. Essentially just Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog skateboarding. But in about a week's time, they made a playable demo that it had 3 different modes. One of them was it's a single player adventure style thing where you work through, and the stage that they only made one stage, and it barely made it, right? But it had a very Green Hill Zone vibe. Like it had this like checkerboard half pipes thing.
I'm picturing that immediately.
And whatever. So you would go through and you'd collect rings just like you would, but it's all like, imagine like, it was all like pools, right? It was all vert stuff. It was not street skating. It was all like big ramps and weird things and whatever.
X Games.
Yeah. So you're going through and you're collecting rings, but the adventure mode, the idea is that you would skate through, you'd go through different boost pads and find your way around in different areas until you'd find a hidden key. You'd get the key, which would unlock a door that would get you to the next area to find the Chaos Emerald for that stage. So it's very much pulling in the Sonic concept into a skateboarding thing. There's another mode that was, you had a multiplayer race. So it was just like start, finish, and along the way, boost pads and things like that. And it was really, really cool how they kind of cut it all together in the skateboarding engine. But you're going through, and they're not really skateboarding, by the way. They're more like hoverboards, kind of. So they're kind of like floating a little bit, but still in that same skateboarding engine. You can still do skateboarding trips. Like they had them doing Benihanas and shit.
500s.
Prototype Sonic Riders.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So you had the racing part, and then you had a combat part, which was so Mario Kart, it was ridiculous. But the footage shows like you would go over, and again, like this is like demo, so it's very, very basic art. But it was like, oh, you'd pick up grenades. So they had like these grenades that would just kind of float in a circle around your playable character.
Were there green and red ones?
There were green ones, and then they had red rockets, which they were just like...
That's graphic.
They look like... They almost like... They were so basic art that it just looked like arrows that were pointing up because they were barely even 3D modeled. But so they had those, and they would spin around. You could fire rockets at your enemy. But it was battle mode, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of racing through and whatever. So they take it, they make it in a week, they submit it to the then producer of the Sonic series, Yuji Naka, and they're like, hey, what do you think? Like, we took all those assets you gave us, and using our old engine, we made this. And they're like, this is really interesting. We really, really like what we see. We'd love to go forward with a project like this. Could you come up with a design document and kind of a preliminary budget of how much you think it would cost to make a full version of this game, or based on what your final vision is. Like, what do you think it would cost? So they put it together, they submit it, and Sega just stops answering the phone, doesn't call him back, doesn't talk to him, nothing. They wrap up work on Sonic Heroes, and that was kind of the last they heard of from Sega. They're like, okay, well, I don't know what to do there.
What comes up must come down.
The head of the studio, or one of the co-founders, Matt McDonald, he was interviewed by Unseen64, where a lot of this stuff started to come out. He was like, at the time I never took it personally. I never thought it was like a personal thing. I was like, hey, that kind of stuff happens all the time. They went a different direction, blah, 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 whatever. So they had moved on, done other projects and whatever. And then a game called Sonic Riders comes out.
Oh, no.
And then they were like, oh, that's weird.
So this was a middle finger manifestation.
And if you kind of look at Sonic Riders, like, there's a lot of comparisons you can start to draw. Again, like, this is a demo they put together in a week, but it was still kind of interesting that...
Mm-hmm. And they got a sequel.
Several. There were a couple different Sonic Riders, actually.
Was there?
Yeah, there's a couple. Like, there was the original one. There was
two.
One on 360, I think. There was one on Wii.
They weren't all the same game. They were all different.
I think they were all slightly different, or sequels, but it became like a
one of those things where it's like kind of like it's a different game on each platform, but they all release at the same time. Like Sonic Boom has like the
right. I don't know, but I know there were more than one version, right? So they've done more than one game in the series. So VisionScope, they shut its doors in 2006, just for whatever reasons, moved on, and employees who worked there were supposed to take the old development kits, the dev kits they had, and take them to an electronics recycling center.
Of course.
Instead, they kept them, and they would do all these kind of like behind-the-scenes trading with other people who were collecting that kind of stuff. And eventually one of these things ended up in the hands of some guy, I forget his name now, forgive me, but it's in the Unseen64 video. And that's kind of how all this stuff started to surface recently, was him kind of digging in, finding this demo that was passed around by old employees who kind of like kept stuff when they shouldn't have. And yeah. But the interesting piece that Mr. McDonald pointed out was that he had reached out to their attorney back then when they saw Sonic Riders, and they were like, wait a sec, like, we didn't take it personally before, but now the fuck.
Yeah, like what?
And the attorney looked through all of their the NDA that they had signed, the non-disclosure agreement they had signed when they took on the Sonic Heroes contract, which explicitly stated that any use of Sonic or Sega assets in anything that the team had been working on would then become property of Sega's. So by them taking, if they had just built the concept and sent it, they may have had an argument. Mm-hmm. But because they used that old art, those models, and they put it together building that.
They essentially pitched a free idea to Sega.
Yep. And that became Sonic Riders.
That sucks. Law. Contracts.
I barely played that first game too.
Was it good?
Say no.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't anything new. Like, you're just playing a downhill game, and you can do tricks in the air, and you just it's a racing game. Like, there's not much to it. But for some reason, I kept thinking of the PlayStation Eye toy. They had a weird like snowboarding or hoverboarding type game where like depending on how you position yourself, make yourself go faster and do tricks and whatnot. If I'm remembering this correctly. But I don't know if Sonic Riders had that kind of control scheme option with using the eye toy. I don't think it did. But I found more joy out of that than Sonic Riders. They try to make a whole thing. They had, I think, like animated cutscenes too and everything. Like they try to.
I'd be okay. I want more weird extreme sports games to come back. Like I'd love a new good Tony Hawk game.
Ride 2. A lot of technology in that board.
He's working on something now, isn't he? Isn't that what he said?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 6, right?
I feel like because the contract with Activision's up, and then he said he's talking to other people or something.
I want to see Skate come back, but that's not going to happen.
I just want something, man.
I sucked at Skate. That was weird. That you used both joysticks to do the tricks.
Yeah, I was never good at it because I came from Tony Hawk.
But like the one on PC is so notorious for its glitches that they're hilarious.
That'd be fun.
Like you YouTube any of them.
Yeah.
Well, what does EA have to talk about this E3?
Need for Speed. Did you hear that?
Probably are due for.
No, they announced it.
Oh shit!
They not only did they announce Need for Speed this week, they also said that it'll be at E3 in playable form, and it is using Need for Speed 2015 as a base for design.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they're tying
Live
in
action
Fast and
cutscenes?
Furious.
It seems like they were like, hey, that game we made 2 years ago was the game that we kind of want to keep making. We just want to make it better. So I don't know if that means full motion video again.
Dom. This is it. Fingers crossed. I got both fingers crossed right now. I'm buying it. $60. It could be $80. I'll buy the collector's edition. It'll probably come with a Dom family statue.
It seems like a bad idea, man.
It seems like the best idea.
Seems like a bad idea. Hey, one thing we didn't talk about last week was Mario Maker. Matt and I did a little Mario Maker a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
Live on the internet. We built a level.
We beat it.
We did beat it. The level code, if you're curious to play the level, is pinned to our Twitter. But you can find the video on the website on YouTube. That's fun.
A lot of fun.
I want to do more Mario Maker. We need to have at least we should do a monthly Mario Maker.
We could.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely have legs for a series of levels.
Go ahead and watch the one that we posted for more information on that. But yeah, this week's going to be a light week because I'm not around. But we'll be back next week with another episode. And the final days of May, it's almost over, isn't it?
No,
Right?
what, 2 more weeks?
The 13th.
Yeah.
You got time.
I guess by the time we do another episode, we'll have about a week left. Yeah. That's true. I don't know. Whatever. Time is a concept that I made up a long time ago. Get it?
It was you.
Yep. Sorry, dudes. Had to keep track of something. You could find this episode and all the other episodes on our website, on iTunes, on Google Play, on YouTube, on everything. Go follow us in all of those places and be our friends. Watch our stuff. You know, thefreecheese.com. Go there. We got cool stuff. We had an article go up on Friday called "What Are You Playing?" A new weekly segment where we kind of do what we do every podcast, but we do it in written form. We talk about stuff. So I wrote about Metroid. You wrote about Dota, which then kicked me in the ass to go download Dota for some fucking goddamn stupid reason.
Dota.
Yeah, I know. It's not up. It should be up by the time you're hearing this. But our final chapter of Injustice should be up. You can go check out that retro spotlight on Rayman that we did. And eventually we'll have some Nintendo Land for you whenever we can learn how to computer. Follow us on Twitter. Mark is at og_mental. Matt is at MattyIce131. I am at The Free Cheese, and The Free Cheese is at Some Free Cheese. Anything else?
Nope.
Covered it all? Weed? Yeah, that's correct. Cool. Well, we'll be back in a week. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener, for listening. We'll see you another time in another place with another episode of the Free Cheese Podcast.